there's like a conspiracy for bass players that talk to each other about how badass bass playing is, and then they're all like, "That's a badass bass player," and they're like, "Yeah, we're badass." And then in the liner notes, it says, "Hello, everyone.
Welcome in
the Know Nothings podcast."
Are we in?
We're in.
Hey, welcome, guys.
We had a little thing going about bass players.
We're just talking a little bass player. We're actually talking harmonies. We're going to get into the topic of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees a little later, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't first talk about the fucking balloon flying over America. You know about this balloon? I was shocked to know that you did know a little about the balloon.
Well, I did know a little bit about the balloon. I saw it in a post. I went through Facebook for my one time this week, and I saw the balloon. And I thought at first, it was the picture that I saw was the International Space Station going past the moon, and I was like, that's way too big to be going past the moon. But it kind of looks like that in that one picture. But the International Space Station is like this big in front of the moon. So then I started reading, and I found out that it was a
spy balloon.
Spy balloon
from China. We shot that sucker down.
I'm going to try to get rid of this thing right here while you're talking.
Looks like we shot it down above North Carolina, which was interesting because I was also on the Book of Faces, and right before it got shot down, and somebody's like, "They better not take that thing over the South. I swear to God, it's going to get shut down." And I was like, oh, what a hokey redneck thing to say. And then 5 minutes later, I see the news scroll up like, balloon shot down above North Carolina. I was like, oh, shit. Maybe they knew something. Maybe they knew something I didn't know.
They did it.
I was too quick to jump and be like, stereotype them, but they actually, maybe it was our government, or maybe it was Billy.
What do you think you could shoot? How far in the air was it? How far up was it actually?
It was high. I mean, but I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that. But here's what was curious though: as big as it is and as obvious as it is, China had to know we're going to see it, right? You could that's like you're not trying to. That's like having an affair every day at your own house. Like eventually you're going to get caught. You're almost trying to get caught.
How about this? It wasn't China's. It was just something that happened, and they don't want to tell us. So everybody's like, who do we hate right now? China? China's balloon. Because it looks shitty to me. It looks like MacGyver made it in his basement.
But China's, I mean, all of their tech guys, are out of there. So it might be shitty. Like,
oh, yeah?
Yeah,
But why do you think that they would say it's China? It's just like floated over from China, or because
it's a
spy
off
balloon.
The coast? Because they determined it's a spy balloon.
Spy balloon.
You don't believe it's a spy balloon?
I don't believe anything.
Like, no, but you're so far on the I don't believe anything that you don't believe anything.
My first take on that is they're embarrassed somebody did this, and because it
got into our airspace and went over our country, and it flew like, I guess, from.
Could it be like super hackers, and they're just like the balloon goes over people and just takes all their information? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what they think it is. That's the deal.
But it can't be China. That's stupid.
It is China. No, it's kind of stupid.
I saw a meme that had the balloon.
It may not be China, but like all of our intelligence agencies are saying it's China. Why would they say it's just
if they
for
all say it, then if all of them, all the alphabets say it,
but at what
CIA, FBI, NBC, CBS?
I get that, but at what point do we you got to believe? You can't not believe anything. You get it gets really scary in that place. I
need more information.
Well, I think we'll get all the information they want. This is the thing. All the information we want will be available. It's a matter of whether people will go find it or not. They're not going to just spoon feed us.
That's weird. You can't see it.
I don't think they're going to. They won't, just like everything, they won't spoon feed us all the information because people don't have the attention span for like 30 hours of information that might be relevant. You'll have to go find it, but I'm sure it'll be there.
I saw a meme that had the balloon, and then it had like some Chinese takeout hanging from it.
I saw one with Joe Dirt. Remember when Joe Dirt flew the balloon from the when he bought that Cuda or whatever?
Yeah.
Was it at the oil field or whatever?
And he was in the balloon, the tooth. It was a tooth.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's from China. Maybe it's not. Right now they're saying it's from China as information. They have no reason. I don't see that they have a reason to lie about it. China's crumbling on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Well, I mean, Evergrande. Remember the Evergrande scandal, right?
No, Ariana Grande did what?
Evergrande.
No, I don't know Evergrande.
Evergrande, you don't know anything about that?
I don't know
Evergrande
that.
is China's biggest bank. It's or their biggest financial institution.
Well, this isn't good then.
like Lehman Brothers for us.
Doesn't China need to be making money so we're making money?
No,
No. Okay.
but it crumbled, like it collapsed last year. Collapsed like through the.
No, that's a good thing for us then, right?
It's probably a good thing
And
for
a bad thing for a billion people. Oh, let's all
Yeah.
be humane, and they're a bit like.
Well,
let's
that's-
all be humane and you know.
I'm not talking
have
about
a moment of
I'm not
sadness.
talking about the humane aspect of it. I'm just talking about the factual aspect of it. Like in 2008, like when our shit crumbled. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Hands across China for us.
It's bad, but it happened. Like, you didn't know. I can't believe you didn't know about Evergrande because I thought you followed the financial markets. So that was a huge deal there in 2022. Like,
Wow.
they're
I follow my financial
so
market.
in that coming from that, they then told all the U.S. people working in tech that were living in China that they either had to become citizens of China or move back to America. 100% of them moved back.
Oh wow.
They have none of our
well,
engineers,
America rocks.
scientists.
You'd rather live here than anywhere. You can do what you want.
I mean, there's other places that are better. There's better places that are better
Where?
at this point.
Where?
Well, if you it depends what any metric you're looking at. There's nothing we're number one in. I can tell you that. Whatever metric you want to name.
We don't want to come here to get an education.
Okay, that's one.
You don't want that.
Healthcare that's another.
No.
Happiness metric. That's
Unless you're rich.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
Okay.
about I'm
Normal.
talking about normal people. Healthcare is not one. Income inequality is not one. We're not even top 5. Healthcare, we're not even top 20 probably. Education, you said it yourself.
I'm gonna have a little list right here why things you should why America is great, okay? Here it is.
I didn't say it isn't. America is great. Make no mistake about it. But it's got so many opportunities that we won't recognize as opportunities because of our blind. We just can't accept that we might not be the best at something. We can't accept it.
We can accept it, but
You
we
think
just
as a society as a whole, we are able to accept that information and not be?
we just ignore it.
We ignore it. How's that accepting it? No, we don't even. No, you have half the country. I guarantee you would stand up and say, We're great at all that stuff. We're the best. We're the freest. We're the happiest. We're the wealthiest. We do the best at everything. That would be, and it might be more than 50%. It might be 55 or 56%.
Move over a little bit. Your phone's making the
Oh, the phone's making. Oh.
yeah.
Look up happiness scores by country. Just overall happiness of its citizens. What are you looking up?
All right, here. I've got a list right here.
Okay.
McDonald's, Walmart, the Gap, baseball, NFL.
Wait, this is a list of things that we're the best at.
Yeah.
You said Walmart,
McDonald's, Walmart, the Gap,
The Gap.
baseball, NFL, rock and roll, the internet,
Well,
Starbucks. Hold on, it keeps going. Disney World, porno, Valium,
porno, drugs, McDonald's, and
Reeboks,
Walmart, and sneakers.
fake tits,
Oh, we have the most fake tits. Well, that's good. Then we are the best.
sushi. Right, we invented that. Right, Taco Bell,
Is this we have the most Taco Bells? Is that
rodeos,
Is this says we have the most rodeos?
Bed Bath and Beyond, Liberty.
I
Got
thought-
a lot of Liberty, motherfucker.
I thought it was the best. You said the most. We have the most McDonald's.
The Alamo,
What does that have to do with anything?
Band-Aids,
We have the only Alamo.
Las Vegas, Christmas.
I don't understand what's happening.
This is America, fuck yeah. It's the list where it's like Walmart, fuck yeah. That's why I said
Oh shit! I was like,
when I said sushi, I was like sushi, we invented that, right? Sushi, fuck yeah, America. We'd have the best sushi. Ready to save the motherfucking deal.
yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Comedy podcast. No,
no,
yes,
yeah, maybe.
we're completely
A little bit.
we've gone completely news, and today in the news,
well,
some shit happened.
Well, we turn the news into try to turn the news into comedy. So we try. The world is.
It
kinda
does
com-
it itself.
It does it. It writes itself.
It does.
Did
It
you
really
hear?
writes
Did you
itself.
hear about the? Did you hear about that kid that ordered $1,000 worth of Grubhub while he's sitting there with his dad, the 6-year-old. It's fucking awesome. So the kid was like, "Hey, let me have your phone." His dad was like, "Okay." He's watching the game or some shit. This is like 2 days ago. So the kid gets on Grubhub while his dad's talking. He orders $1,000 worth of food, like 20 orders of cheese sticks, 50 orders of like 100 pizzas. Anyway, it ends up being like it's over $1,000. Well, they're sitting there, and like 6 cars pull up.
No
with
way.
all this
How does this work?
Grubhub.
Why isn't there like a fail-safe on that where it's like we need to call and make sure
Well, once
that
you're
they
in,
want 1,000?
once you're in the phone, because he paid for it, it's got your cards attached to it, like like when you do a Grubhub or a DoorDash. So the card's attached, and kids are so smart now. He's just adding everything he could ever want. And then it's like the pay now button. He hits the pay now button, because your order is being prepared.
Oh my gosh!
About 2 hours later, his dad's sitting there. He said like 6 cars pull. He's like, "What the hell?" He said people get out with like bags of food and like piles of pizza, all this shit. He's like, "Yo, what's happening here?" And the kid was like, "Oh, that must be my Grubhub."
All of it was cold too. It was all cold.
They interviewed the little kid, and they were like, how many garlic knots did you order?" He's like, "At least 15, I think." It's great.
What did they did they keep the food?
They had to. It was paid for. Card was charged. The dad was just like, "Hey,
Do we need to set up a GoFundMe so he can pay his bills this month?"
He was pretty distraught. Yeah, he was pretty distraught. You would for me. I would be like,
It put a dent in my mood for the month.
I'd be
to
like,
pay bills.
yo. I mean, I had when my kids were little. They hit me for like $690 on I want to say what was that game about 15, 18 years ago? The Candy Crush.
Candy Crush.
You had to buy stuff.
Yeah.
I got my phone bill. And it was just normally like $250. I had everybody's lines. I got my phone bill one. It was like $961. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Turned out it was all Candy Crush games. They were just
Oh my gosh.
they were just banking my ass with charges.
Remember back in the day when you would you'd have your cell phone, and this wasn't that long ago. You would if you were on Verizon and somebody's on AT&T, it cost more to talk to them.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember that?
Remember we were kids, long
I
distance
got
calls.
$1,000 bill one time because I'm just driving down the road, driving truck, calling my friends,
Calling whoever,
and
yeah,
talking
passing
to
time.
whoever. I don't know what they got, and it's just $1,000 one month.
Because it was
talking on the
because you
phone.
had AT&T and they had
And
Verizon.
Well, yeah, something like that. I think I might have had Verizon at the time, and
I remember like teenager, early 20s, making long distance calls. That would be like whatever it was, 25 cents a minute or whatever. Like you couldn't just call. If somebody lived 2 cities over, you couldn't just call them. That's so crazy.
I think they had this thing where you could do your preferred friends if they were if they were AT&T and you were Verizon, you could put them on a list that it wouldn't charge. Or
What a
something.
scam that was.
What a scam in the beginning is. Everything's a scam in the beginning.
What a scam it still is. Kind of sitting there thinking, I'm like, I still pay like $250 for my phone bill for like 2 phones, I think. But you're always
You shouldn't
upgrading.
do that.
Huh?
Shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, that's how much.
Are you paying for phones in that too?
Well, you're always upgrading. So Cameron has a phone because me and Cameron are on the same bill, the same plan. He'll get a new phone. I'll get a new phone. Next thing you know, you're paying for 2 phones plus these 2 bills with everything. And then there's probably 4 or 5 phones on there that over the years that I just hadn't taken. Because I've had the same number for 25 years.
Oh wow.
I've never changed since I got my first cell phone. Same number.
I've only had 2.
I've had,
And it was just because when I stopped paying for mine and the company started paying for mine, I got a new number.
yeah.
That's it. I've had
I think
2.
even if my company paid for it, I would just.
And I've
which my
only
company
had
did pay for it for a while.
one Facebook page my entire life. Unlike a bunch of people on Facebook where they have 6. It's what are you doing with your life? Is it normal? Okay, so I can understand having a Facebook page. You change your life and you just want to get a whole new Facebook page and block people. Blah blah blah. I know people that have 6.
Let me tell you what that is. I'll tell you a trend you might notice about this.
They're not running their lives right.
These are meth addicts, Mike.
Oh yeah.
People with 6 Facebook accounts, go back and look who it is. I've got them too. These are meth addicts.
I got one that's really.
They got
funny.
sober and they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a new page," and then they relapsed again. So they have something really stupid on their page where they're like, had blue and red and purple hair, and they were talking themselves through a situation, but they're high as giraffe titties, and then they're like. And then they're like, oh, God, they sober up. They're embarrassed. They shut that page down. They get another page, and then they're cool for a little while. Then they fall back into the meth, and they do something else stupid, and they shut that page down. I've met at least 5 people I know like that.
I have one that I just quit. I just quit because they would. It was like somebody I know where I used to live far away, and I don't want to give up anything. So somebody I know where they used to live far away. Every time a picture of them showed up with a dude, which
Was all the time.
looked rough.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't be friends anymore. And I never talked to this person.
Oh, they would like.
And then I guess they would break up, and I would get like a, hey, I want to be your friend again, and I would click okay, and I'll be a friend again, and then not talk to this person, talk to this person ever. Then like I'd see a picture, like something would pop up
with a new guy,
with another dude. Then we won't be friends anymore. They're just like constantly dating the wrong type of dude.
They're
who's
dating
like,
dudes.
you have to get rid of dudes on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
And it's like, I last saw you when I was in the 7th grade. So that's when I talked to you last.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
That's definitely an
so like
insecure.
that happened. So like I just quit
responding.
Yeah, I quit going. I quit going. Okay, I'll be your friend again. You know, like I quit.
Yeah.
So just
A lot of times it'll be the scammers, people I've been friends with for 50 years or however long. 15 years on Facebook, and then all of a sudden they'll ask me for a friend request. You know, that's always like an Indian hacker or something.
Oh, I got one. I got a message from my mom, and it wasn't my mom because of the way they were talking.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh?
Oh, I had one of
My
those.
mother doesn't talk like this.
I had one of those too, like a private. It was a private message from somebody that faked a profile, but it was like from a really good friend of mine, like me and you are. Like I know them intimately. I talk to them all the time, and I'm like, are you sure this is Bill? Because
Right.
Bill doesn't
talk like
doesn't
this.
talk like this. I talk
He
to him
doesn't
daily,
sound like this at all.
and he never has called me dear.
Right.
How
Hello,
are you, dear?
Well, I'm good, Bill. What's going on with you? Hey, Bill. This isn't Bill. Bill, you want to see my Bob's and Vagine?
Bob's and Vagine,
What?
please.
Okay.
Yeah, but the I think the multiple Facebook pages are usually some sort of addiction and or, as you said, bad relationships.
Bad relationships.
Where they're dating insecure dudes, and if you have the joint account, 97% of the time that's a cheating relationship.
Yeah.
Someone in the relationship cheated.
Or they're very promiscuous on the internet.
Well, and so the husband or the wife was like, "We're gonna have a joint account."
Take your hand off the microphone. There you go.
What happened?
It goes. Bzzz.
Oh. I think I would rather.
It's probably not very grounded.
I would rather die than have me and my wife have joint pages with joint names. This is
I think I would rather not have Facebook. I don't need it.
I don't need
first
it.
of all.
Oh, it's pretty much the MySpace of 2023. I go there like
Yeah.
I used to go all the time. It used to be my favorite social media, but TikTok's taking its place.
Oh, TikTok's so great.
Yeah, TikTok's
so
so
much-
great. It's
so
so much.
better.
It's so much. TikTok feeds me all the shit I want to see. Just never-ending music, weightlifting, like relevant to
Right.
my life, like relevant to what I want to hear. Cool videos by good creators constantly, and Facebook just feeds you
Yeah.
all.
I still like YouTube. I like to.
Well,
like, YouTube has everything on it.
YouTube has so much. YouTube's great for watching. Like I'm going to sit and go down a 6-hour YouTube wormhole. I can start watching this.
YouTube's good for music and
Man, it's great for music.
all that stuff. I love it.
YouTube, yeah, I don't
Love
consider
it.
YouTube. Do you consider YouTube social media though? I consider YouTube like the modern cable.
No, not
it's like modern cable.
Not social media. It's like it has 1 billion channels. So I mean, there you go. It's like modern television.
Yeah.
Prescribe to whatever you type in. If you want to learn how to take a wheel off of a Ford Ranger 1986
It's
Ford
right
Ranger, it'll pull right up a 1986 Ford Ranger.
Yeah,
and
that's
take
awesome.
This wheel off, or whatever.
Facebook's basically become a place for old people to go and regurgitate
Shit they've heard.
and go. Facebook's the place to like post memes that were funny 37 days ago.
It's an echo box, right? Is that
Yeah.
what the echo chamber is the term?
Everything
It's just an echo chamber. Everything is.
because of TikTok. Everything when you go back to Facebook, everything you see there, you're like, I saw this 2 weeks
I
ago.
saw that.
Saw that weeks ago.
You're so
Saw
hip,
that
Ray.
weeks- yeah, it's
So
just-
hip. 2 weeks ago.
Well, 2 weeks ago in the internet world is like the
It's
joke.
like
the
it's
joke
like
is
an
dead.
hour. It's like an hour ago.
The joke is
2 weeks
dead.
ago,
It's
it's
like
over.
it's over. Harambe's only funny for so long, right? Or like
I saw like this thing. You're right, because I saw this on
until
Instagram.
it's funny again, like 10 years
I'm
later. Yeah.
flipping through Instagram, and somebody has on top of one of their videos like the oh no, oh no, oh no. You know that thing?
Yeah.
Just the post all underneath was like, could we please get rid of this old ass soundbite for everything? It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's over.
Because it's been 3 months.
Over. It's been like a couple of years. It's like 2 years. People been using that oh no, that oh no thing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's been a couple years, has it?
Yeah, it has to be like 2 years.
Yeah.
They've been using that, and everybody's just like, "Can we please get rid of this?" It's just like never use.
Things get old so fast on the internet. That's so like when the reels or the memes or whatever are making its way from TikTok to Instagram to wherever, then to finally to Facebook. It's like a graveyard. Facebook's a graveyard. It's where jokes and memes and content go to die. Like when the content's run its course. Like I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, everybody on Facebook will be talking about George Santos, which was 3 weeks ago, and by then it'll be 5 weeks old. To the Facebook crowd, it'll be like.
Well, let me ask you this: where should I be getting my news and my information from?
I would say TikTok.
I think so. I think you're right.
On all seriousness, if you really just want news, I think you have to pick the subject you want to. This is what I do for news. I just pick the subject I want to learn about, and then I just start Googling and trying to cross-reference and read stories and find information, because you can make anything sound like anything. You can make a soundbite be anything.
Do you think we're pussies because there's a Chinese balloon flying over us and we aren't shooting missiles at China? Do you think?
No.
Come on. Like, what?
What
Like,
would
if
you don't shoot a missile over a balloon. You don't put it
no,
like
I'm
a
just
nuke.
saying, no, they just floated some Chinese shit over our country. That's an act of war, man.
Oh, we shot it down, and we'll begin the process. That's how you.
We're also giving like a shitload of money to Ukraine, and that's an act of war too in some other people's eyes against us. Listen, I feel like World War III is like two doors down, next to
imminent.
3 doors down, the greatest band on earth.
It's imminent because Putin doesn't care. He's dying of cancer. He's old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's dying of cancer.
Yes, and I think he doesn't give a shit. I think
Who's coming up behind him that's going to be ruthless?
I don't know.
Who's going to show us? Is it going to be somebody to show us in the gym, like Putin working out in the gym, all those videos, and
I don't know.
riding a horse? Is it going to be somebody badass like that, or what?
I don't know. You mean somebody that's given the perception that, well, yeah, Putin, I guess, was a badass in his day, wasn't he? Like in the KGB or
I
something.
mean, I don't like the guy, but shit, he's posting videos of him working out and riding horses shirtless and shit. Come on now.
Yeah, he's got a.
It's
good,
like a 70s or 80s movie where everybody's like, "Oh shit, that guy's a badass."
He's got a. He's got a good propaganda machine behind him.
Oh yeah, well the whole country.
Yeah, you better be as.
What you don't like shirtless on horse? Fuck you.
Fuck, you don't like mayhem?
Fuck you.
With
You're
mayhem.
fired. Literally.
I think World War III is closer than we want it to be.
I don't like World War III because it sounds like nuclear weapons will be involved in World War
Well,
III.
here's what.
It's like mutually assured destruction.
Here's what.
It's just like we shoot them at each other and then see who has the best capability of shooting them out of the sky before they land.
That's us.
That sucks.
That's
fucked up.
This is what Albert Einstein had to say about the matter, and I don't know still if there's ever been a person smarter. Maybe if somebody out there is smarter than Einstein, maybe you have a better. This was his view on.
Einstein had a good propaganda machine. No.
He didn't. He had the opposite of that. But Einstein said he said, I don't know how or when World War III will be fought, but I know World War IV will be fought with sticks and arrows.
That's right. I remember that quote. Yeah.
Which says
sticks and arrows.
Yeah, because he's like, World War III is going to end the world as you know it.
Right.
There'll be people left. They'll rebuild, and they'll be primitive. And by the time the next World War happens 100 years later, it'll just be like cavemen fighting.
Yeah. Like, how about the Bible says the meek will inherit the earth because all of the people that aren't meek kill each other.
And then
the meek people crawl out of the holes and we're like, oh, we inherited the earth.
Well, if you look at how the United States is set up, I mean, we're set up perfect for any kind of confrontation. You couldn't have a better setup than the United States. So much vast areas of land. The entire thing, there's waterways everywhere you go. Everywhere to our borders is waterways. How do you access the United States? There's no way to get here.
Not really.
And we have an ally to the top and an ally to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay? How do you get to America
It's pretty. That never thought about that. That's pretty strategic. It's
Super strategic.
It's not on purpose. It just happened, I guess.
I think now it's been on purpose for like 100 years. Probably on purpose when it founded, but when we figured it out, like, oh, this is where we're like. But think about it from a military standpoint.
Look, you got the Mississippi River goes all the way
up and down. So we can during time of war, we could transport goods up and down America through ports of entry. In order to get to our airspace or our waterway, you got to come from the south and meet our whole southern border, the east or the west meet our whole east or west border. There's no way you don't get seen, and you've got to fly or take a plane all the way across the ocean. We're going to see you before you even get close. And if you did happen to get through all that, right? Happen to get through our allies, get through our airspace, get through our water space, then you get to America. We've got you on millions of acres of open land.
Right.
Let's fucking go that we own, and that we know all about, and that
there's more guns in America than people too.
Yeah, behind every blade of grass.
They want to talk about Ukraine fighting those people, dude. There are people here just itching. They're waiting. They're like they got all their gear.
You think?
They're
do
ready
you think
for somebody
that's true
to invade.
though? I don't think it's true. I think it's
there's
fake.
more guns than people.
No, that people are actually ready. I think people are full of shit. I think it's fake machismo.
I think there's a lot of militias that are ready.
I don't think they're ready for
Really?
shit. Nope. I think they're
They just run around, drink beer,
talking
and shoot
shit,
guns.
talking shit, fat asses, couldn't fucking run half a mile.
Man, I can't.
Couldn't do a sit up. I don't see any militia groups that's not going to be why we win World War III.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, if somebody invaded us, let's just say somebody invaded us.
But that's the point. You can't invade us.
But let's just say they did. You don't have. I mean, you don't think that people say the South, just the South, where we know everybody.
I think
everybody I know has guns and ammo.
Everyone you know won't use that gun on somebody. They ain't built like that.
Yeah.
They say they are. They act like they are. They say they want it. They wear shirts that say 1776 with American flags on them and shit. The American fighter shirts, but they're not fucking real.
So it's not going to be like Red Dawn, where we all run in the mountains and then we plot our.
No,
this is bullshit.
You know, here's my take on like militia groups.
You're not Red Dawning it with me?
Here's my take on most militia groups. Most of them, they all have a similar story. I would have been in the Marines, but I hurt my knee. Yeah, I was going to go to the Army, but I'm flat-footed. They all never did. And they have this romanticized version of military service. So they go to the they go to the military store. They buy some camouflage pants and combat boots, and if they can find a shirt big enough to stretch over their gut, they get that and they strap on a bunch of belts and.
I think there's serious militias out there.
There are.
Yeah.
The percentage of them are
You're talking about guys at a gun club.
I'm talking about if you took the majority of those fucks.
Yeah.
Like you took 1,000 of them, and you walked up and you slapped them in the face. 7 of them would fight you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just think it's a lot of boisterous shit. It's
maybe they're just setting up to take over their territory when the shit goes down because they hoard and get all the guns.
Maybe
and they own the town.
Maybe they like having murder fantasies with their fat friends and
murder fantasies.
Yeah, that's dude. They're obsessed with murder fantasies. Like they're all like these.
I would hate to shoot somebody. It'd be awful. I was thinking that the other night. Like if somebody broke in my house, I'd rather much run them off than shoot and kill them. That would be terrible. I would, even though they're breaking in my house and my family is in danger. If I shot and killed that person, I would feel that the rest of my life.
It depends. It depends if I found out if they had a gun or something, and I saw if they were intending to kill me. I don't really have feelings about it.
No, you don't know though until you're in that position.
I don't think I would. Well, I know how I feel. I know how I know me. Like I know that I feel a lot about a lot of things, and I have a lot of empathy about a lot of things, and.
Like those guys that broke in my truck and I got them on video.
That's just breaking your truck.
Breaking my truck. I wouldn't shoot somebody over that.
I wouldn't.
At all.
I couldn't kill somebody.
I wouldn't do that.
I couldn't. I could shoot him in the leg.
I would yell. I'd call the police and
I'd shoot him in the leg.
Shoot him in the leg. I don't know. What if you?
Why would you
nick their artery and
it's not. Anybody's been to war will tell you it's not fun or cool to kill people.
Not
you
at
don't
all.
really want to do it. And the other thing they don't think about when they're running around doing their militias and stuff is that. They haven't thought about the actual real possibility when there's other people that are trained with more weaponry, and they're trained by military people, not each other, running around pallets and shit. They're trained with each other.
I think that movies have hype it up to where like the spoils of war are great.
Yeah, movies have hyped up the murder fantasy, Yeah, these people. I'm not saying all. I don't want to blanket all militia groups, but I'm just saying a large swath of them. They ain't tough guys. They ain't never been tough guys, but they have a fantasy. They in their head they see themselves as a tough guy, right? And then they run around with their friends playing war, and they get an overwhelmed feel, and then they sit around after that drinking beer, talking about fuck yeah, let's get.
Can't wait till the end of the world.
I can't wait.
The
These sons of
zombie
bitches
apocalypse.
come, and they don't think about the zombie apocalypse. That's for
I
weirdos
know.
like us. They think
I
like
know.
really like the.
I know.
They think like an actual invading army's coming, and they're going to be the saviors of the day. First of all, no one's even asking for their help when there's going to be a problem.
Are militias though like for like overthrowing the government? If
Yeah.
the government steps out of line,
They are. Did you have you seen that great comedy skit? I don't know the guy's name because he's a brand new comedian, but he is funny as shit. He's talking about this exact thing. Well, he goes on as he's talking about it, he's like, yeah, they're ready. He's like, oh yeah, they're ready. They're ready for war. They're ready for anything. Blah blah blah. He goes, I think we should. He goes, I think once a year we should try that out. Air it on ESPN. He said, since everybody wants to see it. He goes, and over here we've got the militia group from Kentucky, the Rough Riders. You know what he goes? He goes, and it's 72 guys, all morbidly obese. They've been training for 2 weeks.
What is this on? The training for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and he goes, and then he gets into it. He's going all the skit. He talks about the militia. He's like, and on the right, we've got Staff Sergeant Menendez. Staff Sergeant Menendez, we're ready whenever you
Oh,
are.
yeah,
And
I think I know what you're talking about.
And the guy's like, no, he's like, okay. He goes, I don't know if this is even fair, but they go, okay, we can start. He goes, huh, okay. Well, like I said, I've got them all in my laser scope right there where their campsite is, and I'll just hit this button. Yep, they're all dead.
They're dead. They're dead. Guys, can't we all just get along? Can't we get along as a people and have no war? Can't we have an ambassador that could go around the world and just be like, hey, stop. Let's all just get along. What are the problems?
That's not the wrong idea or the wrong message.
It's not. I'm not being, and I'm actually really not being funny about that. It is a funny thing to say because, like, but
no one in control wants that.
Nobody can make that happen because they don't want it to happen.
Somebody could make it happen. We could make it. We could make it. It would take a collective of all the people of the world saying, "We're not doing this shit. We're not fighting your fucking wars over goddamn oil. We're not fighting your wars over money. We're not fighting wars." But
or like you would have to go be like, okay, well, you throw all your nuclear weapons in the junk pile, and they'd be like,
it begs the question.
Not throw yours. Well, we're not throwing ours.
That's really just us and Russia. Who else has got a big nuclear arsenal? Are there other people with big nuclear arsenals?
Does China?
I'm fixing to look at that up because I'm interested.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. I've only heard of us and Russia, but I know.
Well,
other
I know
people
that
we have the most.
We have the most by far. Oh yeah, it's not even close. Russia has the most. I'm sorry, Russia has the most. So
Russia has more than us.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
man.
Russia-
See, look, my first instinct is to be like, we need to pump up. We need to pump that up,
Here-
and then on my other hand, I'm like, we just need to get rid of all of them.
Get rid of all of them. If the Russia here's the discrepancy though. Russia has 6,257 nuclear weapons. America has 5,550 nuclear weapons. Coming in at number 3, China with 350.
3? Oh wow, we went hard.
Yeah, us and Russia went all in.
We went ham bone.
And then if you go down to 7th place, it's Israel with 90. So it really starts.
We had to give Israel 90 just so they were like, we're good.
We're good. So yeah, 6,200.
Great.
So, but Russia couldn't get any of their nuclear weapons to us. I think we could get our nuclear weapons over there without them being shot down. I don't think they could get theirs here. That's my personal belief.
I think they all just get shot down before they get anywhere.
Even the ones to Russia? You don't think we have the technology? I mean, our technology is so advanced on everybody's. It really is.
I mean, I hope so. I hope it is. I hope that's right.
I know. I was in the military like 20. I joined 29 years ago. But it's wild to even say. But even back then,
God, when you say like 29 years ago, don't you? You want to think that you were a kid 29 years ago?
well, I was 17 when I joined.
No,
so
well, you were. There you
technically,
go.
joined on my 17th birthday. But the technology even then was just remarkable, like unbelievable. So Did you find anything?
I'm just looking
Oh.
The technology was what?
it was really advanced then, so I'm sure it's even further advanced. I'm sure now it's to a point that's ridiculous. I would think it's, and we spend, and look at the money we pour into the military industrial
Don't we have
complex.
don't we have bombers though that drop nuclear weapons? So
We do.
we fly way up above basically in space and then just
Yeah,
and then
we
drop
have
them over
we
places.
have
How do you stop that?
we have nuclear subs
How do
that
you
shoot
nuclear subs
nuclear
that shoot 'em
subs
out
that
of the
shoot 'em
water.
out of the water. I mean, when
We guard you while you sleep.
you can say you or me could say whatever you want about the United States in general, but if you're talking about military power, we are a force that like the world has never seen. That has never
of
seen.
course.
We could run.
That's awesome. I love that about us.
If we wanted to,
I feel very safe at night.
I feel pretty safe.
I feel pretty safe.
I feel so safe that we could spend less money on the military-industrial complex, and we'd still have the most powerful
we'd
military
still be
by
fine.
far. We could take some of that money and shift it to education, healthcare, other things, because we spend so much more than number two.
I don't like when people talk about how, like, America, we police the world and blah, blah, blah. It's yeah, we do that. And you sleep real nice at night, don't you? You don't have to worry about, like,
So
the
you're
country
a
over here.
you're a fan of us policing the world? I'm not a fan of that.
Not policing the world, but just having, like having bases everywhere?
I haven't. I mean, yeah, I'm not really.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I kind of like that just because that gives us like a strategic end if you need to land a plane.
When I say
strategic end
policing
if
the
you need-
world, I meant having bases all
but
over
us
the
having,
world. But
yeah, having bases are fine.
basically, policing the world, I don't think we should step in
We don't need to be stepping
between
in all the
people
time.
that are dealing with stuff that isn't any of our business, really.
Yeah,
and
that's
our
what-
our business basically is what? What is our business? Why would we step in on anything anywhere?
Oil.
Money, oil,
Money and oil.
resource. It's called resources. That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, just
But I'm not gonna talk shit about America. I love America.
I love America too. It's our government I have some issues with.
Government. Yeah, our government sucks.
But I mean,
America's great.
The idea.
The people in America are great. I love everybody here.
Everybody.
And yeah, everybody.
Not everybody.
Everybody.
Not everybody.
I love everyone.
You're a better man than me. But we spend.
Well, I'm a better man than
But our
you.
military budget spends $37 billion on drugs and pharmaceutical products. That's probably too much.
Probably.
$32 billion on
Couple dollars in
aircraft.
there.
That $32 billion on aircraft seems reasonable. $25 billion on systems development. I guess.
Well, how much is it to make a 32? What are they called? F-32 Raptors. They're like $30 million a piece. So yeah.
Well, shit. If that's all, if they're that much, 110
Well, you got to
million.
think about production
So
costs.
for 10 of them, for $1 billion, you could make 10 of those suckers.
Raytheon, you can find me what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Because I'm just like, oh yeah, it costs $32 billion to build, and then you've got production costs. Yes, you can find my resume, Raytheon, on the internet,
On Indeed.
and just just give me a call. I'll help you. I'll help you bring that down a little bit.
So
I don't know shit about shit, but I could probably make some really dumb decisions for you guys.
I think we could scale back. Hundreds of billions probably off of what we spend on the military because we've got it so built up at this point.
How much of that money you think goes just straight in the pockets of people that do things?
Oh my God! So
Just straight, like the check signed, the money goes out to make so much of this, and then just like millions of it just goes.
well, in
into
the
somebody's
'90s,
bank account.
we were paying like the military was paying like $1,600 for a hammer.
Yeah.
So all that money is like you're a politician, your buddy owns a hammer company. You get him the military contract. He sells hammers for $1,600. You get $800 a hammer, and he gets $800 a hammer.
Because there's no oversight.
This is
None.
This is an the military just spends whatever they need to spend. There is no like question of like, which is a little that's cool to a degree, but everything could be handled with some like fiscal responsibility.
That's going on, and then we're like gonna hit the debt ceiling.
Well, we've already hit the debt.
No, that's what I'm saying. Then we hit debt
The
ceilings.
debt ceiling,
It's
what
all
is
kinda
the- what
fake,
is the
right?
Debt ceiling. What is the
It's
money?
all kind of fake, right?
Yeah, the money's fake, and they're not even making money anymore. They don't have to make money. You just make it on a computer. You just make digital money that you. I'm gonna lend Bank of America $600 billion. I put it in the computer.
Right.
Well, how much does Bank of America have to leverage against that $600 billion? Oh, zero. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Enter.
just boom. Just
You,
do
you
it.
know that you have to have 0% as a bank? You know how fractional reserve banking works?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to have 0. It used to be you had to have 10%. So if I was
Right.
Bank of America,
So you don't have to have 10% anymore.
0%.
So 0% gets you to loan money out to people that doesn't exist.
Infinity
And you have to
money.
have 0%.
The
It
bank-
used to be you had to have 10% sitting there, and like if you had $10,000, you could loan $100,000 out 10 times.
Right.
Now it's
No,
zero.
you could loan $100,000 out one time.
One
10
time. One time. One. That's what I meant.
Now it's 0.
Bank of America, if you would like to hire me, my resume is on resume.com.
They have $0 to leverage against it, and they just say they go, I need to borrow $50 billion, and the Federal Reserve creates $50 billion on a computer and digitally transfers it. Now Bank of America has $50 billion. Now they loan out the $50 billion, collect interest of real money. They collect the real money.
Right.
Then they
The money
pay
you
it,
worked for.
Then they pay it back to the Federal Reserve with no interest
Well,
and keep the nut.
Yeah.
It's a fucking scam.
Oh, it's all a scam.
Who gives a
there's-
fuck about a debt ceiling? Fuck your debt ceiling.
There's a
We're all gonna be.
there's
solved.
there's a great go on YouTube.
It's crumbling.
Yeah.
So crumbling.
Well, we've kept it going this long as people. We've
Every
kept
time I
the
talk
whole
about the
system
house,
going.
my wife's like, "Oh my god, she's so riled up." I'm like, it's like I just don't. It's like it just really drives the shit out of me. Like how obvious this is, but it seems like no one gives a shit.
Well, how are we gonna not play the game? How do you not play that game?
I mean, you just don't get it. Don't use debt.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna buy a house one day, huh? Yeah.
I'm saying the only way to not play the game. Those old like moonshiners and shit, they probably had it right. Like fuck it, I'm gonna build this log cabin out here. I'm gonna live in the mountains. I'm not getting credit cards. I'm
That
not
sounds
getting
great.
and I just want to be left alone. Leave me alone. But of course, that doesn't create any commerce or money. You have to have debt to have money. The only thing that is money is debt. No money exists without debt.
Well, if you make money, like advertising is a real problem because they show you things that they think you want, and they make it so enticing. You say you make money to buy things that you don't need
To impress people.
To impress people you don't know.
That don't give a shit about you.
Don't give a shit. And you're like, whenever I see a Porsche going down the road, nice car. I like Porsche.
I love them.
I see it and I go, cool car. Do I want to spend $120,000 on a car for people I don't know that I know when I'm driving down the road? I don't hear them say it all the time. Just to know that people are going.
But if
cool car.
if you're gonna buy the Porsche, you need to be able to buy the Porsche. But that's really not feasible.
You can't buy the Porsche and beg for gas money.
It's not feasible to think to buy homes and cars with cash because everything is so absurdly priced, and everything gets more absurdly priced because they have to have you in a never-ending debt.
I never know to say it's the name is Porsche
Porsche.
because it's a guy's name.
It's
there's,
Porsche.
There's no pronunciation involved in that. That is his name, Porsche.
That's the name.
But most people say Porsche. I like that Porsche.
Most people are stupid.
Yeah, I know, but like it's widely accepted to just say Porsche.
Yeah,
but
it
if
is.
you own a Porsche, you better say Porsche.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because that's
There's
what
really
it is.
no other pronunciation.
There's no other pronunciation other than Porsche, and then you'll have somebody say, "Well, that sounds douchey." Well, then it is douchey because it's the guy's name. It's Porsche.
Yeah.
So say Porsche.
Right.
Good lord.
If I made a car,
Anyway.
if you made a car, it'd be a Hinkle. If I made a car, it'd be a Creasy. It wouldn't
Yeah.
be a Crease
A Crease
or a Crease.
or a Hinkley.
It may become that, I guess, over time. We just Americanized it, like
Yeah.
we do. Well, that's what we did.
Porsche.
That's what we did. We
Porsche.
We thought as Americans that we have a better pronunciation for this German car.
Yeah, right.
We know better.
Oh, also as
And we'll-
Americans, we came over here and we thought the indigenous people here we thought we were in India, so we said Indians. Years and years and years up until our time, we called them Indians, and we still knew it wasn't India, and we were just like, "Nah, you're Indians."
Some people still call them Indians.
They still call
I've
them
still
Indians.
called them Indians. Some like in modern history, probably just like
But I'm just saying, like the audacity of us to know that they're not
Indians.
They're not from India
At
or
all.
Not in India. We called them Indians, and we're like, you're Indians.
they're in the Americas.
They're America. We're in America.
They're in it's North America.
So just the fact that people still called them Indians for another 200 years.
And then we actually
It's ridiculous.
And then we actually tried to treat them like foreign invaders.
Well, yeah, I know, it's so terrible. And also the other thing I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, the term Indian giver is such a asshole term because
The irony is sickening.
The irony of calling someone an Indian giver.
Yeah.
Because it means like I gave you this beer or whatever this is, this juice.
Yeah.
I gave you this
Pimp juice.
Just gave you this Mike's pimp juice. And then I was like, I want that back. And then you're like, you're an Indian giver. Like the Indians gave us the land and then they wanted it back.
Yeah.
We just took it.
We took it. Have you ever
This is the worst term ever.
have you heard the story about Columbus that's in his journal? This was fascinating to me about how he got what he wanted from them. They knew about astronomy, right? Columbus.
Right.
So he knew an eclipse was coming, okay?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard the story?
Oh well, I've heard about things where people that knew when they calculate those things happen, and they would have like town meetings and be like, "Hey, behold!" and everybody would be like, "Holy shit, this guy!"
Columbus.
Because everybody was pretty much stupid back then, except for people that knew.
Ignorance is a better word.
People
They
that
weren't
knew.
stupid, probably. They probably were ignorant.
Ignorant to the fact that
they
books.
They just didn't know this stuff. They'd never been taught this stuff, right? So
I like the word stupid.
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, stupid would be like they don't have the capacity to learn. Which
Stupid is as stupid does, man.
So he's trying to negotiate with these Native Americans, and they're like, no, not interested or whatever. He was wanting some land. And
He fucking pulls out some science.
and he says, well, my God is way more powerful than your God, and if you don't do what I'm telling you, I'll turn the sun red tomorrow. Which he knew that tomorrow was
It was gonna be an eclipse.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be the eclipse, and they were like, yeah, okay. Well, tomorrow comes. He comes before. He's like, did y'all decide? They're like, we still decided. We haven't. And he's like, well, be prepared for this hell that my God's gonna rain on you. And then it happened, and they were like, oh shit!
Shit their pants.
Yeah.
I shit my pants too. I'd be like, oh my God, this dude for real?
Yeah, imagine being 400 years ago. You're living in a forest or where, and somebody comes and tells you like, and all you know is the stories you hear of your God from your.
Well, it'd be like now if you knew when the International Space Station was going to fly over and you get to see it, like go right over a 90-degree angle, and you'd be like, my God flies around and looks at everybody.
Yeah,
Look,
but now-
behold!
But now I can just Google and go, Mike, it's the International Space Station.
What
It
if
says
that
it right here.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people in indigenous areas of now that don't have Google.
Right. You could go to an African tribe, and have you seen those guys that go to those African tribes?
No, that one. No, I'm way interested in that. What is it?
Oh man, this guy he'll go to these tribes that have not like touched civilization, and he's like, they come out with like, it's on YouTube. They come out with like spears and shit on the like
Have they
And
never
he's
seen the white man?
He's walking. He's like, I don't mean it, and he gets it. Next thing you know, they grab him up and they're taking him down a trail and they're dancing, and he's like, he's
Oh
just
shit!
dancing and going with them.
White guy stew.
Yeah, and but they just take him and they feed him. They're like, handing him their food and stuff. But these people are, I mean,
This is more food than these people.
It's
have
1,000
had in a
years-
week.
it's-
Oh, I'm sorry. You can have it back.
it's just like 1,000 years ago to them. I mean, they have no civilization. What about that guy remember that guy about 5 years ago that went to read him the Bible? Did you hear about
He
that?
got eaten. He got killed.
Didn't get eaten. He got killed. He
probably got eaten.
They killed his ass.
Are you talking about the island?
Yeah.
The island where people you're not allowed to go.
No one goes.
No one goes. Yeah,
I'm
because
talking about
they
two
kill
different
you.
things.
You're talking about two different things, obviously. But
Yeah.
now you're talking about the island where, like, if you show up, they'll kill you,
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to go there.
and this
people
one-
like to tempt the fates and take their boats close to it, and they're like all in the water, like ah.
And this one dickhead was like, "No, these people want to hear about my Bible."
People want to hear about Jesus.
And they were like, "No, we don't."
We got to take Jesus to these people because, damn, they're wearing loincloths.
All right, before we run out of time, let's get into our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations.
Okay.
These are for us. So you get to pick 5. So every year they nominate about 20.
Are you going to give me a list?
I'm going to give you a list.
Okay.
I'm going to give you.
I'm better at multiple
Yeah,
choice than
yep.
I am.
So this is the list of everyone that's eligible to be inducted for the 2023 Rock Hall of Fame. And I know there's going to be opinions on the Rock Hall of Fame. Some people love it, some people hate it. Here's my take on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We understand that all the acts in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are not rock and roll, okay?
Yeah, we get it.
We get it. It's let's think of
Well,
it.
hold on. Before we get into this, let's just talk about it. You've never been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I have never been.
Okay, so I've been, and just I wouldn't make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a neat building. It's neat. Unless there's like something going on where there's actually going to be somebody famous there playing or something outside or wherever. I wouldn't be like, let's go to Cleveland.
Well, I love all
And-
that shit though,
and,
so I might would like.
and check it out. Well, here's the thing: like you walk through, and it's like they have a 5x5 section for Michael Jackson, and it's just like a hat, a glove, and like a shirt and some shoes, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, hey, yeah.
And then it goes- somebody else's Jimi Hendrix
goes
guitar.
to the next pod, and it's the most. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this back because I'm kind of remembering.
Because
it now.
I'm thinking it would be for me. It would be because
I'm
way
kind of
more into
remembering
the
it.
history of
Okay,
it than you.
okay. So on loan while I was there, this was really fucking cool. I'm hating on it, but now I'm gonna take that back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it back because I'm remembering. On loan from Yoko Ono's estate was all of like the handwritten things from the Beatles and John Lennon.
Super. See, I'd love that shit. That's super cool.
Like it was like a huge wing of it, and it was like it had like the clothes that they wore, and it was awesome. And then they had underneath the handwritten out like when they wrote the songs on paper and napkins, and
yeah,
and you're just like sitting there looking at the real thing behind like 3 inches
that's
of
super
glass.
cool to me.
It was really
And they have all
cool.
these guitars,
and it was really cool.
and keyboards, and people
The
play.
part that wasn't cool was the little 5x5 sections you just walk through, and you're like, oh, it's so and so Van Halen's guitar, and it's like you don't even know if it's really his guitar. It probably is, but like
it is. That would be cool to me though. I think that would be cool to me.
But the Beatles thing was really neat. It was really neat.
See, I think seeing Van Halen's guitar would be just as neat as that, or somebody else's.
And then what the real thing is just like where you buy the merchandise is the big part.
Yeah, well, sure.
There's a whole floor.
They've got to fund their selves. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I know like being a big metal guy, there's a bunch of metal bands that have been slighted, and they didn't even have a metal band in there till 2004, which is ridiculous. And like, but let's just look at it on the whole. And then Dolly Parton gets in and be like, she's not rock and roll. Let's just call it the Music Hall of Fame for the sake of the internet. They're putting
I would say Michael Jackson though is rock and roll because of all the guitar work and a lot of his songs.
It's pop, but look, pop is rock and roll.
There's a rock guitar in it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, and I say rappers can be in it. I think I've even got a rapper on my list. But anyway, I'm gonna give you we're gonna go through the list of
right, let's do
nominees.
it.
They're only gonna put 5 in each year.
Let's do it.
These are the people that are nominated.
Wide shot. Here we go.
All right, Kate Bush, which I'm gonna say she's got nominated because of TikTok this year. She blew up with Running Up That Hill this year again from that song from 1985. But anyway,
From Stranger Things.
Yeah, but Kate Bush is nominated. Sheryl Crow. Missy Elliott. Iron Maiden. Joy Division. Cyndi Lauper. George Michael. Willie Nelson. Rage Against the Machine.
Hold on one second.
You have beautiful handwriting, by the way.
It's terrible.
Mine is too.
Go ahead.
Soundgarden. The Spinners.
Okay.
A Tribe Called Quest. White Zombie. And Warren Zevon.
Who's that?
Warren Zevon's one of my picks.
Well,
One of the great
tell me something he did.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Nope. Lawyer's Gun. Never heard of it.
Carmelita. Maybe the saddest song ever written.
Nope. I don't.
Werewolves of London.
Nope.
You don't know Werewolves of London?
No.
Oh,
yeah,
Werewolves of London.
Nope. Don't know it.
Yes, you do.
I know the song that goes, "Oh."
Werewolves of London.
It doesn't say what.
Werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Mix. His hair was perfect.
Move the bass so it points towards your microphone. The bass.
Oh, right there. Yeah, you have to know Werewolves of London.
I don't.
Anyway, Warren Zevon's a brilliant song. He should be in just on Carmelita alone. Just that one song should get him in, but he's got hundreds of songs. He's brilliant. He's one of my picks. You give me your 5, and I'll give you my 5.
Well, it's easy to pick.
Is it easy to pick? Because I bet you your 5 don't get in. I bet you my 5 don't get in either.
I bet they
Somebody
don't either. Okay, so the 5 that I pick. Okay.
let me guess your 5.
You just saw me circle them.
I wasn't reading, I swear.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to guess your 5 at Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden, White Stripes.
You said the White Stripes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you pick them or no?
You said White Zombie.
White Stripes, not Zombie.
There's no White Zombies not on the
not
list?
White Zombie's not on the list. White Stripes.
Well, hold on now. I gotta. You said White Zombie.
I meant White Stripes. I'm sorry if I said
Man,
that.
I would be like, White Zombie's gotta go. White Stripes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Then I'm gonna say you did Willie Nelson.
No.
You didn't pick Willie.
No.
A Tribe Called Quest.
Yep. No, I didn't pick them.
You didn't pick a Tribe Called and
No, even though I love A Tribe Called Quest, I listen to them forever.
and Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Okay.
Hey, here are mine. Here they are. Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Cyndi Lauper.
Okay.
I love Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. You think she did enough to be in the Hall of Fame?
I think she did enough cultural wise.
Yeah, just from Girls Just Want to Have Fun. And,
I'm just gonna tell you that it's not about music. You know that because you were saying, I'll pick the ones that are gonna be there, and they won't be the ones,
right?
Because they're not gonna be. They're gonna be,
yeah, close.
Who they pick, but they're not for the right reasons.
Yeah, or maybe they do pick.
So
for the
that's
right
my
reasons.
not right reasons. When it's Cyndi Lauper, I love her music, and she, it's for the.
She had that. What was it? Time After Time. That was great.
After time.
And
True Colors.
True Colors. Girls Just Want to. It was all off one
Girls
album.
Just Want to Have Fun. Yeah, but
all
it was
off one
a
album.
huge impact.
1984.
Huge impact.
It was big impact
People
for us as kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's good.
George Michael.
George Michael.
George Michael's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome. You don't like him?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Just doesn't resonate.
Man,
nothing,
he's got one of the best voices of all time.
I've never heard a George Michael song that I resonated with, not once.
I'm gonna give you one.
Which one?
And you got to be in the right mood to listen to. You can't be like I'm a partying man.
Yeah, I can get in chill mode all the time.
But
I just don't. I mean,
it's
I'm
a
not
slow song and it's live and it's awesome.
I'm not taking away from.
And we're not talking about Wham. We're talking about George Michael.
Yeah. It's all the. It's,
okay. Well, obviously George Michael's one of those ones that it's going to be picked for the cause.
Yeah, he's gonna get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get in.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
Yeah, for sure.
Those
Those are slam
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Iron Maiden, Cyndi Lauper, George Michael, Rage Against the Machine, Soundgarden.
Okay, so we only have one. We only have one that are the same.
Really?
Yep. So Iron Maiden.
Yep.
We both agree on Iron Maiden.
Of course.
I'm gonna say this, Rock Hall. If Iron Maiden doesn't get in, this is a fucking travesty against humanity.
Right.
Iron Maiden has been still to this minute plays like 100,000 seaters every time they play. They play the most all around the globe. They have the most global impact of anyone on this list, and it's not close.
Right.
There's no one on this list that could go to. Iron Maiden can go to Brazil and sell the country out.
Right.
Or go to England and sell the country out. Like, Iron Maiden has to be in. I have Iron Maiden number 1. That's my first pick. Number 2 is Warren Zevon. Number 3 is the White Stripes. Number 4 is.
Now I love the White Stripes. The White Stripes. I listened to like all their early albums.
He changed the
They're
game.
amazing.
They're
amazing.
He changed
He's
the
amazing.
game.
Yeah. Okay.
He musically changed the game. Like Cyndi Lauper and George Michael didn't musically change anything.
No, they're
Nothing.
for the cause.
Yeah, for the cause. And
I was picking winners.
And then A Tribe Called Quest.
Oh yeah,
I think A Tribe Called Quest, Iron Maiden.
I think the Tribe Called Quest will get in.
And Iron Maiden have to get in.
I think A Tribe Called Quest has to get in. I was picking winners though, like I picked like a one that I knew, which is
I think Warren Zevon has to be in too. But
George Michael. Will they only pick so many of these? How
5.
many?
They pick
5.
5.
Okay, so
they will pick 5.
I'm going with Willie Nelson now.
Okay.
I'm gonna change. I'm changing.
Now let's go. Now the next conversation could be who will they pick? These were our picks.
Okay.
Let's go with who they pick.
Who they pick?
I'm gonna circle the 5. I think they're most likely to pick.
We'll see.
I got them. I think they're gonna pick Sheryl Crow.
Oh, of course.
Missy Elliott, Cyndi Lauper, George Michael, Willie Nelson. And they're going to make Iron Maiden and Warren Zevon wait 2 more years.
Who did you say?
Sheryl Crow.
Okay, I picked that too.
Missy Elliott.
I picked that one too.
George Michael.
I picked that one too.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yep. No, I don't pick Cyndi Lauper.
And Willie Nelson.
I don't think Cyndi Lauper gets in.
They get Willie Nelson before he dies.
I think Willie Nelson gets in. I think they're going to skip Cyndi Lauper.
Maybe A Tribe Called Quest instead of Cyndi Lauper. That could go either way. Or maybe
there's no way they're picking Rage Against the Machine. Right?
How do you keep Rage Against the Machine out?
That's what I'm saying. Like me, I'm a huge Rage Against the Machine fan, but like
I was gonna say, how do you keep them out?
Keep them out.
How do you keep them out? They changed the game.
They changed a lot.
So when I think about
maybe Rage Against the Machine is the last.
When I think about the Hall of Fame, that's why I think like Iron Maiden and Rage Against the Machine are slam dunks because they changed
these are
everything.
This is so terrible because Soundgarden is so good.
I know, when I had to leave Soundgarden off mine
so
because I picked Rage.
So good. I would pick any of those over Cyndi Lauper any day, but I feel like Cyndi Lauper's but I feel like she's gonna get in because of the politics of it.
But does she have? She doesn't have a strong. Like she doesn't pull it. Like she doesn't have that.
I think she had. I think she's done.
She's not Madonna.
Well, I think she's done things for women and abused women, and that resonates a lot with how they pick people.
But
I think it's just based on music. I think she's done. She's had like foundations and done things and all that kind of stuff, and I think they kind of put that into play.
I think she can't be. I don't see how Cyndi could be it myself. She has.
Are you saying all those songs? So all those songs were on one album. Did she write those songs? I don't think she even wrote those songs.
I think she. No, Girls Just Want to Have Fun's a cover.
Oh, is it from who?
From a group of guys, and she kind of rewrote it.
Huh.
But
I never knew that.
I think it maybe her I think it got to become her song because she changed enough lyrics. But it was written by a rock and roll band of dudes.
Oh.
But with different lyrics. It was written from the perspective of. So the original version of Girls Just Want to Have Fun was written from the perspective of like a dude, like all sexual and in everything.
She made it her own.
Everything the girls wanted to do for guys, and Cyndi Lauper wrote it from the point of view of like, no. I want to go have fun with my girls, like our kind of fun. I don't want to fuck you. I want to. But the guys' version was all about how Girls Just Want to Have Fun would be about how they would want to sleep with the band, right? Like that was Robert Hazard.
No, okay, never heard of him.
Robert Hazard, a decade before,
from Hazard County,
he wrote Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So her biggest song is a cover song. Let's get that out there.
Okay.
And then the rest of her catalog, which lasted 11 months, her career, were pop. Like it's pop.
I thought to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you had to be together for 30 years.
You had to be 30 years since your first release. Almost no one in the
No
Rock Halls
stayed
together for 30 years.
Stayed together.
Yeah, I don't think there's what, 2 bands that have done that. Maybe Metallica, ZZ Top, and I guess.
Well, then they're the only ones that should be there.
Well, they're there, I think. So, like,
right.
And the Rolling Stones, obviously, they're like going on year 60.
Yeah.
Is it year 60? Yeah, 1964.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is their 60th year.
Mick's still doing this thing.
It's so funny. Go watch those old interviews. They're talking like watching an interview from like 1968. And they're talking to Mick Jagger. Like he's like, and the interviewer's like, "Can you imagine yourself singing Satisfaction at 40?" And Mick's like, "No, no, of course not." It's like, and then there's an interview with Ozzy in like the early 70s, and they're like, "Could you see yourself doing this brand of music when you're, say, 30 years old?" And he was like, "I don't think I'll be doing." He's like, "I'll be involved in the music industry, but not like on the stage doing this type of thing." Like that was like 71.
Little do they know how awesome they are.
Yeah, that they could just keep going. Ozzy retired from touring 2 days ago. He just had an official. He just had his official. I can't do it. I try. He had a tour planned with Judas Priest.
So he's not touring it. Well, man, he's old now,
and he's got Parkinson's, and he's got.
Yeah, and he can't. Look,
so
it'd be rough for if somebody wanted me to go on tour. Right now, it'd be tough for me.
He just did an album that got 4 Grammy nods, so he still can do. He's still going to do albums. He's just not going to tour on them anymore. And he's like, I just have to be honest. I don't really have the energy to go to 87 different countries, fly all over the world. I can't. I mean, I've got Parkinson's. I've got a broke neck. I've got.
Neither does some of his older fans.
I know. Well, I mean, half his fans are probably over 60.
Yeah.
You know, but then of course he's got fans from 12 to 100.
Oh yeah, he's everyone.
But it's I mean, I would like to see him get one more tour. I hope he's going to do like some one-off shows or something. I hope.
I'm sure he would do a show here and there.
But he almost has to be strapped to something like.
Oh really?
I mean, he can't stand. He can't. I mean, he had to record the whole album from a couch.
Are him and Sharon still together? Mm-hmm. They are. Didn't they break up for a while?
Yeah, he was cheating on her. But he's been.
How would he cheat on her if he's got to be strapped to a chair?
his Willie has famously always worked.
Man.
He's been a lifelong philanderer. Ozzy has.
We need to find out what he's eating.
But him and Sharon always had a rule. They always had a rule that he was allowed to cheat on her.
What?
He was always been allowed to cheat on her, just never more than once and no kissing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been cheating on her since 1982.
No.
Of course, Sharon slept with Randy Rhoads.
Sharon, I think Sharon does what she wants.
The deep dark secret. No one talks about that, but Sharon slept with Randy Rhoads to piss Ozzy off when Ozzy was dating. When Ozzy and Sharon were dating, and Ozzy wouldn't divorce his wife.
Yeah.
So Ozzy's still married to his first wife, the teacher. He wouldn't, and he wouldn't divorce her, but he's sleeping with Sharon. She's like, "When are y'all gonna get divorced?" He's like, "Oh, soon." And then 6 months had passed, and he'd be flying back home to England to go. When are you? So she gets pissed. So she bangs Randy, his guitar player,
wow.
Randy Rhoads. Of course, since Randy Rhoads died, and
That's
so
an
beloved,
age-old thing in bands.
and him and
Banging
Ozzy,
somebody's old lady in
the
the
whole
band.
story has to be that like Ozzy and Randy were best friends. They made all this great music because they were, but they leave out the parts where like actually, Randy banged your wife. She did it to get you pissed off because you wouldn't leave your current wife. You did not take well to that news, and we always leave out. We only hear the best buddy part. We leave out the part where we don't ever talk about Ozzy punching Randy in the mouth and all that stuff that happened.
Oh my God!
Because you erase that from history when people die. Just like if Kurt Cobain, we don't talk about anything ugly he ever did, right? Like,
yeah.
And Randy didn't do anything really. He just got seduced.
He got seduced.
by.
And you will be seduced by us to watch next time.
This was 35 or 36?
35.
No Nothings, episode 35. Well, Mr. B says it takes to about number 100 you'll get some traction. So
Yeah.
65 more, we'll start getting
Right
more
on.
than 100 views.
Yeah, that's right.
See
That's
y'all-
good.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see y'all next time.
Bye.